To Gerard Piqué, under pressure from Smola, who comes into the side, didn't play in Celta's last game. No Santi Mina in the starting lineup for Celta. Here is Ansu Fati.
You can see straight away that Celta is trying to pressure high to Barcelona. If they don't get the ball back, then they place themselves in this kind of medium block and wait for Barcelona to attack them. Lots of people in the middle.
Rakitic's crossfield pass is intercepted by Jacobo Gonzalez. That is Kevin Vasquez on that far side. Back to Okay, who was missed in midfield in midweek. He's such an important player, although they didn't miss him that much because they beat Real Sociedad. Here's Ansu Fati into the area. He's got Messi too. Plaster in the middle, but the ball is intercepted by Adu, and he makes the clearance. Only as far as Rakitic. Jordi Alba. Titi.
See two touches, and that brought Ansu Fati into the box. He wasn't strong enough for Edu, but that's what he can do, that kind of depth that he adds to the side. Plus they recover the ball as well between Riqui Puig and Rakitic and Ansu Fati. That dynamism as well without the ball. This already looks very early, 2 minutes 26 seconds, but a Barcelona that seems a little bit sharper than we've seen in previous games.
Well, it certainly made a difference when those two came on in midweek against Athletic Club. The speed dial was turned up a good few notches, hence the fact that they keep their place in the starting lineup. Titi out to Jordi Alba, all the way back to Ter Stegen. Oscar Garcia has done a fantastic job at Celta. They were 5 points from safety when he took over. They're now 7 from the drop. Tighten them up defensively. Gradually playing more and more attractive football, and that 6-0 victory over Alaves last weekend spoke volumes for that.
1 goal conceded in the last 7, that's another key. The arrival of Murillo has made such a difference to the defence, and just generally training, everybody seems to be more alerted. Alida is what they wanted, and Alida is what they got with Murillo.
Well, let's see if they miss him today. Another one of those former Barcelona players, although of course he barely played when he was on loan last season. The cross comes in, it's cleared by Araujo. Jorge Valdano, writing in Spanish newspaper this morning, said that Barcelona are like a scratched record at the moment in football terms.
Yeah, because they repeat the moves and they're not as smooth as they were. But yes, I think with somebody like Riqui Puig, where you've got somebody who wants the ball, look at him. Asking for it in between the lines. He's not shy of getting it, and when he does, he turns and looks for the players in front of him, and has got an eye for passing. That gives a different pace to the football of Barcelona.
As he gives the ball to Rakitic, he's got Semedo in support. In the end, the interception from Jacobo Gonzalez.
The only surprise really in the lineup of Barcelona is the absence of Griezmann. Arsenal playing is kind of logical in a week where with so competitors moving to Juventus, and if we had the time to explain that because of more than sporting reasons, there are financial reasons behind it. But in any case, knowing that he's going to go, the manager must think, do I play Monaco? The answer has been clear. I prefer Riqui Puig.
Well, Messi's still in search of that career goal number 700 to take this free kick. Played just 5 minutes here. It's sent into the near post and put behind for a corner by Jacobo Gonzalez. Not necessarily innovative tactic from Oscar this afternoon, because certainly in the case of Jacobo Gonzalez, plays most of his football as a winger for Celta's B team, so will get forward when he can. But they've got some defending to do here. It's going to be Messi to take the corner. Swinging at the near post and off the crossbar from Gerard Piqué. Almost an early goal for Barcelona. The ball comes out to Jordi Alba as he won another corner on the far side. Well, Piqué knows how close he came there.
Uncharacteristic for Celta to actually, or the recent Celta, to actually leave somebody like Piqué to head the ball. It was Araujo who missed his mark, and that perhaps should have been the first goal.
Well, you touched on it earlier, Guillem. Celta Vigo, the side who has conceded the fewest goals in the second half of the season. Comfortably the best record in the bottom half defensively. The corner comes in, headed away by Araujo, and then by Aspas. It's Suarez trying to get it further away, but Riqui Puig wins it back for Barcelona to Alba and back out to Ivan Rakitic, closed down by Edu. Rakitic to Ansu Fati, he's beaten to the ball, and he also concedes the free kick. So some respite for Celta Vigo. Now Suarez has made his way into the area. The block is made by Semedo.
Well, you see the intentions of both sides. Barcelona, as always, wanting the ball, taking the responsibility of dictating what kind of game is going to be. And Celta, at the moment, sharing the defensive duties with a defensive, with a high line sometimes. But they can see that the space is behind all the defenders of Barcelona, so counter-attacking when it's needed and it's possible.
Bryce Mendes out to Suarez. He finds Aspas. Ball back up to Sainz. Aspas inside the area. Semedo is trying to prevent him from getting the cross in. Arturo Vidal has gone across as well. Still has it Aspas. In the end it's cleared. Here's Jordi Alba. Forward to Ansu Fati. Suarez is the furthest forward for Barcelona, and that long breaking crossfield pass was intended for him, but it goes out for a goal kick to Celta. Here's a Piqué chance again.
Yeah.
It was the underside of the crossbar as well, wasn't it? Very nearly bounced down and back into danger.
Mostly man marking in the defence of Celta, and Araujo was close to Piqué, but the run of Piqué wasn't followed, and that's where the chance came.
Araujo's clearance kept in play by Smolov, won back by Semedo. Here's Piqué. Van Rakitic, who came on in that game against Athletic Bilbao in midweek and scored his first goal of the season to win the game for Barcelona. We mentioned the absence earlier of Sergi Busquets. Those 5 Barca defeats away from home, 2 of them have come with Busquets out the side. Granada and Athletic, of course, on the first day of the season, although they did win at Atletico Madrid without Busquets.
He's probably the only player that hasn't got a real replacement. Not only Frankie de Jong is injured and eventually may become that, but he's not yet. Doesn't feel comfortable playing in that holding midfielder place where he's got to play the ball in 1-2 touches. He likes to drive with the ball. Anyway, he's injured. Rakitic could be a replacement too, but again, he doesn't add the defensive strength of Busquets. So the solution has been Rakitic, obviously, but I think everybody in the midfield is going to have to work to help him, especially defensively.
Semedo into Ivan Rakitic. Forward to Riqui Puig. Jordi Alba, Ansu Fati hugging the left touchline at the moment. Suarez back into Rakitic, and he switches things for Leo Messi, who's taking a position up wide right. He's got Semedo ahead of him, inside Messi. Messi with the shot, it's headed away by Jorge Sanz.
You can see Ansu Fati very wide on the left, and Messi starting his moves quite wide on the right. It's the only way to open up what is a very populated central area where most of the players of Celta are waiting for Barcelona. So it will require that depth, that width from Ansu Fati, but also from Messi.
Messi with the corner once again. Down to look for Piqué. It's right under the crossbar. It's palmed out to the edge of the area, almost to the edge of the 6-yard box, I should say. It was almost Umtiti in the end. Riqui Puig with the shot, and it goes out for a goal kick. Second time that Barcelona have come very close to opening the scoring from a corner. It was Arturo Vidal who teed up Riqui Puig, and he pulled his shot a long way wide. Just 2 goals for Riqui Puig in his 21 games for Barcelona B this season. 3 assists. Obviously, that's not the principal reason why he's in the team to score goals.
No, but it's interesting. 2 goals. That's the problem of midfielders of Barcelona quite often. They just don't score enough. This is Barcelona B, and he's one of the stars. 3 assists. Okay, that probably doesn't represent well what he does for the side, which is give it fluidity and passing ability.
Chance here for Brais Mendes to play in Aspas, but he gives the ball straight to Riqui Puig, and Riqui Puig, just what you were talking about, the fluidity, immediately moves the ball swiftly on to Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati to Vidal. Here's Messi. Puig now drifting out to the left. Messi plays the ball instead inside to Ansu Fati in a rare misplaced pass, although scooped up by Alba.
Tempted to put it on a frame, that.
Messi giving the ball away. Semedo. Back to Rakitic. Arturo Vidal. Celta camped in their own final third at the moment. They did a very good job of keeping out Real Sociedad in their last match. Real Sociedad just couldn't find any space in behind Celta, and frustrated in that game, as Barcelona are being at the moment. Suarez trying to bulldoze his way through the Celta defence. The ball cleared out to Brais Mendes. Kevin Vázquez forward to Smolov.
That must have heard. Yellow card for Alba. Barcelona trying to do what they need to do. Pass the ball, 1-2 touches, and be patient. We have been thinking for a while this season that build-up is too slow, too predictable. A lot of the time, some of the players don't even get involved. Griezmann, for instance, that's where he needs the face of Brais Mendes. But yes, here what we're seeing at the moment is Riqui Puig that wants the ball, as we were saying earlier, and Ansu Fati also that doesn't just hide in between the centre-back and the full-back. He also helps with that 1-2 touch passes and the fluidity. Obviously, they need to break the deadlock, but good signs at the moment for Barcelona.
Aidu takes the kick forward to Smolov. Here's Aspas. Plays the ball inside to Denis Suarez. How he would love to score this afternoon. Feels that he maybe didn't get a fair break at Barcelona. Finally moved on for good in the summer. Arturo Vidal towards Riqui Puig.
Look how many. What's the color of Celta? Blue, sky blue. What you call it?
I'd call it sky blue.
Sky blue shirts in front of those with the ball. When Riqui Puig crossed the halfway line, you could only see Luis Suarez in front of it. So it's to be a bit more movement.
Messi's pass finds Semedo. There's a chance on here for Barcelona. The cross comes in and it's cleared by Brais Mendes, but just one incisive pass from Messi opened Celta up there. Denis Suarez, I mentioned, very much now a Celta player. They'll hope to do the same with Rafinha in the close season. It might cost them something like 15 million to do so, but they are building a sort of Barca B team. Big Galicia. Rakitic drills the ball and it's cleared. As far as Ivan Rakitic, Piqué picks it up for Barcelona. Here's Leo Messi. Messi with the shot through a crowd of those sky blue shirts, but he can't get past Celta's defence, and Smolov plays the ball out to Aspas, who lifts his head and looks to see who's made the run with him, and plenty of them have. Here's Brais Mendes to Suarez. Jacobo.
Barcelona tried back well. I don't think Celta was risking everything. They were putting their life on the grass for that counter-attack. They're very aware that if they lose the ball in that counter, it could be very dangerous for them. So they're very cautious of their approach at the moment. But as you said earlier, 5 at the back doesn't mean that they're going to be defensive. They realised Oscar Garcia did exactly the same at the Camp Nou. It was 4-1 the result, but if you remember, Celta gave a very good account of themselves. They had a lot of possession, they had chances, and it was based on a lot of players in the middle blocking Barcelona, but those same players converted themselves in attackers and bravely going forward. We'll see more of that of Celta this game.
Well, it was, as you say, it wasn't a 4-1 defeat sort of performance, and certainly the first half, very impressive debut on the bench for Oscar. Here's Bryce Mendes. Nice ball into the area, and well, Aspas got his head to it, but he only managed to flick it on towards Ter Stegen.
You were talking about Oscar Garcia and his influence when he first arrived. What he saw was a team lacking in leadership. So, as we were saying earlier, Murillo, who's on the bench now, helped with that a lot. Nolito, who's just arrived, will help with that as well. But one thing that they were telling me yesterday from the coaching staff that has helped is that 2 weeks before the restart, they've allowed to reinforce ideas of what they wanted to do with the team and didn't have the time to do it before the break when they arrived. They have now. And they've shown today with those 6 players from the lower ranks that they want to play whoever is best fitted for the job and whoever is fitter. So, as we say in Spanish, they won't marry anybody, and Oscar Garcia will allow anybody who does well in training to play.
Messi with the ball into the area. There's a chance here for Semedo. He pulls it back towards Suarez. It might come out to Arturo Vidal. In the end, Aidu clears it, and Suarez can complete the job. But once again, Barcelona, courtesy of Messi, finding a way through this Celta 5-man defence. Denis Suarez annoyed with himself there because Smolov wanted that played into feet, and a longer pass cleared by Gerard Piqué.
The reason why there is so many Celta defenders, especially in wide areas, is because to avoid the likes of that kind of rumps from Semedo. So for the ball to get to Semedo, it has to be the perfect pass with the perfect run, and just at a point where you leave the defenders behind, and that's exactly what happened there. It's just that when Semedo squared it, there was nobody to finish that move.
I think something that Gary Lineker tweeted in midweek, that never mind about Messi being the greatest player of all time and the greatest goal scorer of all time, he's actually probably the best passer of all time as well. And here he is.
Apparently he's a good goalkeeper as well.
He's got Semedo ahead of him, play the ball instead square to Arturo Vidal, who finds Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba back to Messi on the edge of the area, immediately closed down by Denis Suarez.
Important interception from Titi. Last defender he was.
All over the top for Alba, but goes long. There's that pass getting outside of the left foot from Messi. Perfect for Semedo.
Yeah, Denis Suarez was looking back and thinking, no, that cannot be possible. Well, yes, because the run was perfect. Jacobo González had let Semedo run. He didn't follow his run, and that was the half chance that Barcelona had.
Rakitic steps away from Bryce Mendo. Playos is the referee. Here's Ricky Puig. Semedo back to Gerard Piqué, who's had Barcelona's best chance in this opening 18 minutes, heading Messi's corner onto the crossbar.
They'll do this favour to Barcelona if everything goes through Messi. Everything meaning absolutely everything. There are 2 or 3 players that want to be part of this, and if they get the ball, then you will have a less predictable Barcelona. I know Messi can win a game on his own, but if Ricky Puig gets the ball, those runs of Ansu Fati get seen. If Luis Suarez links up well with Arturo Vidal, it will be more difficult for Barcelona to win this.
There's Messi. To the feet of Puig, you let that run, and Arturo Vidal was brought down by Araujo, and this is Messi territory. 699 goals, career goals for Leo Messi. And he hasn't scored in his last 2 games. And there are too many times Messi goes 3 games without scoring. 629 of those goals have come for Club Barcelona.
Stats, you can tell that shows his greatness, but he's played against 40 different teams in La Liga. 40. He scored against 37 of them. Just 37.
We're now accustomed to seeing players lying down behind the wall, players sprinting back to the goal line to try and stop this man from scoring from a free kick. No one lying behind the wall here. It's a 3-man wall for Celta.
Oh, interesting.
But there are 2 players on the goal line. Messi steps up, and the head from Suarez, and Barcelona have the lead. And doesn't matter what you do, he will think of something different. 2 Celta defenders on the goal line. Messi doesn't shoot. He puts the ball on Suarez's head. Suarez puts it in the back of the net, and it's Celta Vigo 0, Football Club Barcelona 1.
Clever, intelligent, cheeky, and I'm sure that he stood in this. He was against Real Sociedad.
The other thing where there were a lot of players similar defending than Celta's put here. Celta had even more players there. But of course, if you all keep your eyes on Messi, what happens? You forget about Luis Suarez. Only Luis Suarez. Header just in the 6-yard box, and I was going to say it's difficult to concede. It's almost like that because it's really bad defending as they concentrated on Leo. This was a clever move by Barcelona. One I'm sure that they thought of.
Well, it looks as if Sarabia, the way he celebrated it, maybe that's something that has been planned on the training ground as well, just to stop the various defensive routines that teams are coming up with to stop Messi scoring.
I think the first one that I saw that had players even on the 6-yard box, but not running back as he taken the free kick, waiting for that then. Well, add to that, they put 2 players in the on the goal line, Celta. There was about 6 players behind the wall. Well, at least you will expect from them is to actually keep an eye on those that they're supposed to mark, or somebody else apart from Blair. Well, they didn't. And a relatively easy goal by
Mistake by Ter Stegen, straight to Smolov. Piqué makes an important block. Something about Balaidos that Ter Stegen doesn't like. Here's Bryce Mendes, he slipped that through to Aspas. Aspas on the shot is blocked by Jordi Alba, and Jordi Alba doesn't seem too happy with Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. A real let-off for Barcelona. Aspas is frustrated as well. He knows what a good chance that was.
Yes, big mistake by Ter Stegen, a rare one as well. Smolov, I think, didn't have much creativity there, wanted to get rid of the ball very quickly. Good run from Aspas, and at this point it was not easy. He wanted to put a cross in. I think he was having a go at one of his teammates who wanted them closer to the 6-yard box.
Suarez with the corner. Piqué makes the clearance. Suarez towards Riqui Puig, who slips, and in the end it's Messi who hooks it away up to Ansu Fati. But they lose the ball again, Barcelona. Back out to Denis Suarez, trying to get round Riqui Puig, goes past Riqui Puig, but Riqui Puig wins the free kick. Well, important interceptions there, first from Piqué and then from Jordi Alba, keeping Barcelona 1 up here in Balaidos.
It's rare to see. Barcelona building from the back is something that they've oiled so well, and everybody, every now and again, tries to pressure them hard, so they've got their ways to sort that out. But of course, one mistake when you're doing that means that there is an open field for the rivals.
Titi to take the free kick. Marc-Andre Ter Stegen 5th in the Famora this year, the award that's given to the goalkeeper who concedes the fewest goals. So poor by his usual standards, although obviously that's not all down to him. Here's Suarez, Denis Suarez, forward to Smolov. He's got support from Jacobo. To the feet of Denis Suarez. Suarez tries to thread that through. Bryce Mendes with the equaliser, shortly off the post and hooked away by Umtiti. Celta by no means out of this. They've responded well to the goal they've conceded. Here's Aspas, drills the cross in. I think that was Marc-Andre Ter Stegen who palmed that away. I'm not sure that if it hit the foot of the post. Riqui Puig now takes the ball. Well, in the end, it goes out for a throw.
We're in with a very good game. This was just needed another run. In a place where nobody was followed, Bryce Mendes, and an opportunity hitting the post. Didn't finish there. It was Iago Aspas with a little bit of a deflection, and it required Ter Stegen's attention.
Well, Ter Stegen, the foot of the post, and 2 interceptions, one from Jordi Alba and one from Gerard Piqué. Celta playing like a team who know that they're probably not going to be involved in the end of the season relegation scrap. They can enjoy themselves. They've responded well to Suarez's goal. It's Okay and Suarez who are down at the moment.
Good point you made there, Pete, because they look a team full of confidence. So they just conceded a goal against Barcelona at home, and you think this is going to be hard, but no. Since then, it's been like, how can we beat Barcelona?
Yeah.
The same way that they tried it before they conceded a goal, with movement, with being brave, with defending high, stealing balls, dynamism. And all that Oscar Garcia is getting. He should be very, very happy with the performance of the team so far.
He lost 6 in 22 games since taking over, which is an excellent record. Denis Suarez claims that that ball was handled. The play continues. Smeda not penalised. Arturo Vidal has it for Barcelona. Back to Piqué. to send it all the way back to Ter Stegen. Barcelona don't mind just taking the pace out of the game a little bit. See, back to Piqué.
I keep thinking of the free kick. Messi about to take it, right? I'm thinking, are they really not going to mark Suarez? All right, okay, no, cheers. Putting it exactly in the right place for the score.
Suarez into Aspas. Aspas, plenty of pace on that pass out to Jacobo, and it was all he could do to keep it in play. Well, it's been a big ask for Suarez to come back flying. The operation in January, didn't expect to play again this season. But Quique Setien, having hinted that he would be very cautious with him once the game started coming thick and fast, hasn't really. And he could have even been rested today, couldn't he, with Braithwaite on the bench. And he's also one yellow away from being suspended. Of course, Atletico Madrid will visit the Camp Nou on Tuesday. Here's Jordi Alba, plays the ball forward to Ansu Fati.
Quique Setien asked Luis Suarez twice in the last two games, are you okay? You okay? And the answer was, I'm okay. So that tells you that you've got to keep him.
Pitch back to Gerard Piqué onto Semedo. Nice pass into Messi, but in the end just slightly over here, and Araujo reads it well and makes the clearance.
Rare to see Messi as well, as he's taking so much responsibility from the midfield to make the runs and to be found in one of those runs. He's the one delivering now, the one giving the service.
Jacobo tries to clear, but only as far as Piqué. Vidal wins it back for Barcelona. Mokai comes away with it for Celta. Bryce Mendes. Well, the intention was to play that to Smola, but the ball goes all the way back to Marc-Andre Ter Stegen.
As we suspected at the beginning of the game, more dynamism from Barcelona. Do you think that they move the ball sharper? It is a very good half from Barcelona, but in that first one of the good halves of Barcelona in this season, they return. They've conceded 2 clear chances too, so I cannot be fully happy with it.
Well, it's certainly nothing like the slightly turgid first halves against Sevilla, against Leganés, Athletic, and also back to the defeats to Granada and Athletic's first game of the season.
The first half an hour was good, and then that was it. The end of the game, as you suggested, there hasn't been really a good hour in Barcelona in a row. Great save from Ter Stegen to that move from that, and another good save. Benicia, this one, but it was hilarity to both.
Kai wins it back for Celta. TT towards Ansu Fati. Rakitic back to Samuel Umtiti.
What do you think Griezmann is thinking on the bench?
Well, you were speaking earlier about it shouldn't be all Messi because otherwise it becomes too predictable for the opposition. Of course, part of the reason Griezmann's brought in is for someone else to take the ball by the horns in games. I suppose in some respects he's caught between. He can't have too much personality because Messi's the man, but then if you just become a servant to Messi, then you don't justify the 120 million euros price tag, and you find yourself on the bench in the big games towards the end of the season.
If you see the way he plays, you see a player uncomfortable, unhappy, who doesn't know his role in the team, who doesn't know how to impress, who doesn't know how to just get given the confidence that's required for him to lead the team when necessary. So at the moment, he's, as you say, he's no man's land. He doesn't know what to do.
Rakitic just overhit there. Suarez was lurking in the back post.
As a consequence, he's on the bench. He cannot do the Ansu Fati thing, right? He cannot just go wide, very, very wide. Now that we have a little break, we can talk about that. He hasn't got the pace or the ability to beat defenders 1v1. Okay, so you cannot do that for him. That means that only Alba can produce in the wide areas. That limits Barcelona. But what do you do with Griezmann? Well, he has been used in different positions. As a 9, for instance, making runs in place between the full back and the centre back, just waiting for somebody to deliver. Has he made those runs? Dozens of times. Has he been found? Not that often. So it's not just that he has to find a way to make an impact, it's got to be seen, it's got to be trusted. That hasn't happened yet, and for a season that just completely on his own. But in a season where it was going to be his season, having missed coming to Barcelona the previous season, perhaps that is key, because everybody expected him to. Well, you have to say he's been a failure. Griezmann, even though he started, his goals and meant the first goal of Barcelona in 7 games this season, so statistically it's not bad. But the impression we all have is that he's not suited for this style. Look how Leo's celebrating. You think it's because they hadn't thought of this one earlier?
Well, also, Guillem, the way he celebrated the goal against Athletic, jumping into Rakitic's arms, and we know he wants to win the Champions League, but it is clear that he's desperate also to win this league, and as you say, they've worked on it, and it worked a treat. And Celta Vigo's master plan to stop Messi scoring from a free kick, well, it worked up to the point of forgetting to mark Luis Suarez.
They didn't score. It was somebody else. But a word that is repeated a lot, Leo Messi. It's only 2 months, guys. It's only 2 months. He said it from the beginning. It's less than 2 months now. But what he's trying to say is that forget, what has happened so far. Give us everything now, because if we actually do the best we can, we could win both competitions. Well, they made their life difficult with the draw against Sevilla. And let's not talk about referees. Obviously, Barcelona complaining about referees doesn't ring true. But in any case, they have been complaining, and that is not the reason why they drew against Sevilla. There was something else. Meanwhile, they still got the Champions League, and they still got the possibility of winning the league. But he came back from being, this is Messi, from being the most pessimistic of the group, said twice publicly, he's not ready to win the Champions League, with a completely different attitude, and kept saying to everybody, come on guys, it's only 2 months.
We've certainly seen that in the body language from the goal celebrations since the restart. Talking about Griezmann, his record against Celta Vigo is excellent. He scored 8 goals against them, so he does get a chance in the second half. Riqui Puig plays the ball into Suarez, back out to Riqui Puig. Seen plenty of the ball in the opening half now. Riqui Puig plays the ball into Leo Messi. Here's Arturo Vidal, thinks about the shot, and in the end pulls it wide, and Suarez wanted that played in, and that's exactly what he's telling Arturo Vidal as we speak.
I thought it was a corner, but it's not. He thought twice about it, just didn't deliver very well, and as you can see, Luis Suarez was making a run that could have been assisted to.
Well, he's weathered the storm, Arturo Vidal. He was one of those that the club seemed to be easing towards the exit, but he's dug his heels in, I should say, and he's very much a fixture now, because if Arturo is away, then, well, the options for Quique Setién are limited anyway, because, of course, Sergio Roberto and Frenkie de Jong are both injured.
I think Arthur leaving, going to Juventus in a swap for Pjanic, for financial reasons first of all, but I think there's disappointment throughout the team that Arthur hasn't been what people expected. But he won't be the only one leaving. If they still go for Lautaro Martinez, it will be also based on swaps, and Arturo Vidal could be one of those that they'll let go.
Rakitic to take the free kick, takes it short back to Gerard Piqué. Well, you mentioned the financial aspect of the imminent Arturo departure. Barcelona budgeted at the start of the season for sales of players of around 120 million euros, and have to do that before the end of the month, so moving Artur to Serie A enables them to do that. It does seem that he's going to make his way there for a medical on possibly tomorrow, Sunday. Jordi Alba plays the ball all the way back to Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Here's Gerard Piqué. Cross to Umtiti. So Barcelona played well in this first half, and they have the advantage, but ter Stegen has made 2 fine saves, and Gerard Piqué and Jordi Alba have made 2 excellent interceptions as well. So Celta very much still in it. Here's Leo Messi. Forward towards Semedo, and Ansu Fati makes the run across. Here's Suarez, back to Riqui Puig, out to Jordi Alba, Alba into the feet of Suarez, back to Riqui Puig. The passing is crisp from Barcelona. Here's Messi. Messi into Ansu Fati, and that's so uncharacteristic of Ansu Fati, a gift from Leo Messi, and he usually doesn't turn them down.
Yes, his body was turned back a little bit, but yet another good movement, good first touch, but by playing it to his left foot, just ended up in a corner.
Just bobbles slightly as he hits it, gets under it, as you say, it strikes Celta Vigo defender, and it will mean another corner. And Celta Vigo have had a few problems with these corners so far. Taking short to Rakitic, back to Leo Messi. It's closed down by Smolov, but he finds Rakitic. Rakitic to Suarez. Suarez shot is blocked, comes back out to Messi, back into the area, headed away by Sainz. And referee's whistle hasn't blown. Here's Messi, back to Rakitic, into Leo Messi. Finally, Brais Mendes can hook the ball away. Titi's under it, sends it back into the danger area. Sainz heads it clear, but only as far as Riqui Puig.
This is now how Celta wants to play, by the way. There's a lot of players that want the ball to their feet. They want to touch the ball. They don't want to be running after it. So they won't be pleased with that first half, especially the defending in set pieces. Every time Barcelona, who's not the team with the most venom in set pieces, actually they've created danger, and that's partly down to the defending of Celta.
Denis Suarez to Smolov, but he gives the ball straight to Semedo, and Barcelona can come right back at Celta. Here's Jordi Alba, he's got Ansu Fati to his left. Ansu Fati back to Arturo Vidal. And Rakitic out to Messi. Messi finds Riqui Puig, tries to give the ball back to Messi, but the situation was well read by Jacobo, and Ruben Blanco makes the clearance, only as far as Piqué. Semedo plays it forward.
But yet again, is a midfielder getting to the box, the same way that it was you saw earlier. Ansu Fati, a winger, just played as a 9 and running in behind. That's what stretches defenses. That's what makes question marks to defenders. They just don't know what to do or how to defend it, or they have to be constantly alerted, and there is so much movement around them. That's how chances are created if the one delivering the ball is Messi. So yet again, pleasing performance from that point of view from Barcelona.
Titi for Barcelona, across to Gerard Piqué. He finds Semedo. This time it's Arturo Vidal making the run into space down this right-hand side. Back to Semedo inside the area, to Messi, almost back to Semedo. Denis Suarez does well, but they've made a mess of the clearance. They get a second chance at it, and Denis Suarez brings it away, trying to get Aspas clear. Ter Stegen's come a long way out, but he makes it, and he also thunders the ball forward instead of putting it out for a throw. And Arturo Vidal, well, in the end, Jorge Sanz comes across and heads out for a throw.
That was risky from Denis Suarez to get the ball out from there, but he left 3 players behind, and a lot of quality that it is. One first touch, another one leaves Arturo Vidal and Semedo on the floor, and there with the outside of the foot just delivers it to the channel.
Well, will he finally fulfill his potential, Denis Suarez? With Oscar Garcia, of course, was the man who originally suggested to Barcelona that they should buy this kid who was impressing at Manchester City.
One of the 6 players to come through the rank in the lineup of Celta. So perhaps by coming back home at a place where he thinks he can fulfill his potential with a coach that understands him, then we see the Denis Suarez that we expected. But don't give him the responsibility of being the number 1, and he won't be, because in this place, you know, you've got Rafinha, you've got Iago Aspas, and other young players that are coming through with personality like Brais Mendes.
Okay, loses out. Messi honing in on goal here. Is this number 700? No, over the top.
Oh, that was surprisingly, don't want to say poor, but unexpectedly
uncharacteristic.
Uncharacteristic, thank you, Pete, from Leo Messi, because once he's given a little bit, an inch of space, that's all, from there especially, left foot, normally goes in.
He's broken so many records in his career. He can't really be, this 700 thing can't really be on his mind, can it?
Well, you did say he's in a crisis, isn't it? What is it, 2 games not scoring? So he may be thinking about, yes, the 700.
Titi into Rakitic. Aspas is furious, but that was just a shoulder to shoulder from Rakitic. You couldn't really have expected more from the referee there, who just waved play on. Here's Messi. Out to Ansu Fati, back to Leo Messi. Messi back to Riqui Puig. Here's Rakitic. Rakitic just sitting nicely in the centre field for Barcelona, allowing Vidal and Riqui Puig to do the running further forward. Some protection from Titi and Piqué, and exchanging passes there with Ter Stegen. 5 minutes left before half-time.
I have to say that Barcelona have been effective since the break. They don't create a huge amount of chances, but when they do, they score them. We've seen it in this first half, certainly. I think we saw it against Athletic Club as well. Only 1 goal scored. Against Mallorca, they had 5-6 chances and scored 4 times. A couple of goals against Leganés, again without creating a huge amount. So that's what it means to have quality in the last third for those that finish moves. Here they had the same amount of chances really as Celta, but they are 1-0 up.
We saw Kiki Setien there inside his technical area. 8 away games since taking over. He's only won 3 of them. Not the greatest record, but then the record away from home wasn't good when he took over.
Yeah, some dynamics just don't. There is a reason for it, of course, but some dynamics are difficult to break. In this case, they just haven't impressed away all season, really.
Rakitic forward to Riqui Puig, out to Jordi Alba, into Suarez. Suarez trying to find Arturo Vidal. Bryce Mendes away for Celta. Up as far as Aspas. Plenty of touches on the ball. It'll be interesting to see his statistics for this first 45 minutes. Riqui Puig, you talk about the fluidity that he brings to the team.
It's
Continuity.
It's difficult when you've got, as you can see there, such a compact Celta. The 2 lines of defence are very, very close to each other. Not much gap. As you can see, they react well, they anticipate.
Okay, sends the ball through to Aspas. It's Aspas against Piqué here, and Smolov is up into support if Aspas can find him. Still Iago Aspas. In the end, he's crowded out. Arturo Vidal trying to make sure he doesn't bring him down.
And it was all down to Gerard Piqué, wasn't it? Without even touching the ball, without even touching the player. And he allowed, by dictating where Iago Aspas had to go, there it is, Piqué getting close to him and telling him, okay, if you want to go, you have to go on the outside. And while he's thinking about it, Arturo Vidal joins in. Great defending again from Piqué.
Well, there's the frustration from Iago Aspas as the corner comes in. Piqué is the man who will bring it out for Barcelona. It was a fantastic pass by Okay to send Aspas clear. Another indication that Celta have maybe goals in them in this game. They're finding space, they're creating opportunities. Here's Ansu Fati. Suarez back to Ansu Fati. Semedo.
The heat map of Messi will be interesting because he has been on the right-hand side more often than not, trying to widen the attack of Barcelona.
Puig out to Jordi Alba, Ansu Fati back to Alba. Bryce Mendes wins that back though. Aido plays it forward to Aspas.
Now it was Umtiti who was risking things, being the centre-back, to actually step up and try to put that pressure high, but he broke the attack of Celta. That's so important that the centre-backs of Barcelona are brave and don't think about what's behind them, but in front of them, even when the team loses the ball.
Suarez goes down. The referee thought about blowing his whistle, in the end decided not to. The ball over the top for Ansu Fati. He's got Arturo Vidal and Leo Messi in the middle. He shoots instead. Unless he was looking for someone at the back post, he hit that with plenty of pace on it, and it goes out for a goal kick.
I did think he tried to shoot, didn't he? He just trying to see if he would surprise Ruben Blanco, one of the best goalkeepers of La Liga right now. And again, with Murillo, even though he's not playing today, one of the reasons of the good defending of Celta in recent times. Does it look like Denis Suarez is injured?
Yeah, he's never looks the happiest, Denis Suarez, so he's one of those players it's difficult to tell if he's in discomfort or not. But the ball has been held up for 2 minutes to be added on. Ter Stegen finds Ansu Fati, plays the ball back to Jordi Alba, and he's long up and under. Goes as far as Araujo, he's under pressure from Suarez, back to Ruben Blanco. Well, a satisfactory first half for Barcelona, with just the one goal advantage, and we've seen enough from Celta to suggest that they can definitely get back into this game.
Yes, pleasing Barcelona in the way they attack. They've been effective. They moved the ball quite well. The level has dropped a little bit perhaps in the last 10 minutes, but they should be happy with it. But they conceded 2 or 3 very clear chances, and Brais Mendez hit the post as well. For Barcelona, it's about continuing with the same style, and they got players, a couple of players, I wouldn't say many, a couple of players that can make a bit of a difference. Braithwaite and Griezmann, basically. The rest are youngsters. But Celta, they defended well. They haven't allowed Barcelona in, apart from in the set pieces, and they had their own chances too. So pleasing in both hands, but things to improve as well in both teams.
Well, Semedo wins the corner. Jacobo Gonçalves is conceding it, and well, there'll barely be time for it to be taken.
There's the quiet agreement that corners have to be taken if the extra time was passed.
It's going to be Messi to take this in swinging corner, and he went for goal there. It's one of the few types of goals he still hasn't scored, Messi. Ricky Puig with the shot is blocked by Jorge Sanz, and the referee puts his finger to it.
He's asking to wait, and unless it's a handball from the shot from Ricky Puig, that because it doesn't feel like the ball went in from the corner, nothing has happened. He has indicated nothing at all, and that's half time.
Well, we've seen plenty of clear opportunities. We're also seeing that Lionel Messi